Okay, moving into segment 2, open hand striking. So far we've covered all the basic Ken or closed fist methods. Now we're going to get into doing open hand. The first one we're going to talk about is the ridge hand. The ridge hand is a very powerful technique. It is utilized for striking several areas of the body, everything from the perennial all the way up, including even sweeping legs out. To execute the ridge hand, you need to make sure your thumb is tucked all the way inside so it's nice and flat, because you're striking from here down to here when you do this technique. Any of these areas will work. Of course, if you want speed techniques, you strike up here. If you want power or knockout ability, you strike with the forearm as far as that goes. The ridge hand is not thrown with a wide arcing motion. I see a lot of people doing that, primarily for breaking, I do believe, but you wouldn't do that in a street fight or in a self-defense situation. The ridge hand basically shoots up and in and strikes. Okay? If I want to use my forearm, say I'm aiming to the target side of the neck, up and in and strike with the forearm. Ridge to the temple, strike here. Okay? You can be ducking side step, solar plexus as well. Just don't do this and swing the arm because you will develop a poor ridge hand technique. Shuto. Shuto is a knife hand technique. We're going to cover the most basic one. I always say this in class and everybody seems to get a kick out of it. I got from Austin Powers, judo chop. Hopefully there's no copyright on that. Anyway, an overhand or overhead knife hand strike. A knife hand strike is utilized with the thumb tucked in, striking with this area right here. Do not hit with your wrist because you will damage your wrist. Knife hand strikes to the side of the neck and the clavicle area here are very, very effective. You could chop somebody like that. You could also be hitting them with an elbow and come back with a overhead knife hand strike. Top of the head I don't recommend unless you've been trained because you'll probably break your hand as far as that goes. Side knife hand strike. Very fast, very quick, very effective, just like the back fist strike. The side knife hand strike is utilized in the same manner. Training, you point, you strike, you pull back. And it's a very quick, very fast, very effective technique. Inside knife hand strike. When I was coming up, they always said, put your hand as if you're balancing a glass of water. What I found out was that doesn't always work correctly because my hand feels weak. It should be pointed straight with the arm like this. Inside knife hand strike is different. Overhead, side, inside. Chops in, chop in. Okay? Very good for TMJ, very good for temple. All those areas right there. You can be moving to the side to strike somebody on the bridge of the nose as well, or into the throat when you do this technique. It's just a side knife hand strike. Okay, part 2, open hand striking techniques. Nukete. Nukete is a spear hand, but it's not really what you think it is. You don't want your fingers pointed out like this. You actually want the fingers to be coupled. So you need to make sure those 3 fingers are flat. That requires that middle finger to bow, or bow, I guess you could say. Okay? This strike is not designed to strike hard areas. A lot of people think, oh yeah, I'm going to hurt you. Oh yeah, I'm going to... No. It's designed to strike soft, fleshy areas, such as the throat, such as the eye sockets, when you're hitting. Okay? So it's not for striking hard areas. It's designed for soft, quick, fast, effective blinding techniques, as far as that goes. It's the same with Ippon Nukete. You're in your Nukete position, you curl your fingers. Don't do this and stick that finger out. You actually curl it so that those knuckles are lined up to that index finger. This is just a very quick, effective way at striking those areas for blinding techniques right to the eye. See how that goes? Striking into the throat as well. Ippon Nukete is good for close quarter striking of vital areas and pressure points on the body as well. A palm heel. I see all kinds of palm heels. This, whatever. I don't care about the finger positions on the palm heel for my students. I let them hit like this if they want, or like this. I don't care. I care about the technique. A palm heel is a powerful technique. It can be utilized in close, striking like this. It can be utilized far away and striking as well. If you do the palm heel correctly, you can also hit and get blinding techniques with the fingertips too. We'll get more into that when we start talking about the Kung Fu stances a little later. Okay, so the palm heel strike would be great for hitting up underneath the chin. It would be great for hooking into the side of the head where the ear cavity is. Here, temple area. Top of the head, which is a powerful strike with the palm heel. Solar plexus, not so much, because the body's not designed to be open. If you hit flat, you actually have to get into that small area, which is where that chem will come into play. You could go into the short ribs here. You could actually do a reverse palm heel and strike the groin. There's lots of things that you can do with this. We used to have this game when I was growing up, a slapping game. I would win it because I would actually heel strike TMJ area and temple area. Pretty simple technique. Okay, so far we've covered closed fist techniques and open hand techniques. Next we're going to talk about empe, or elbow strikes. Elbow strikes are highly, highly effective and highly powerful, especially for being in close quarter. Instead of being at striking range with the hands, you're here as far as that goes. The first one we're going to cover is reverse elbow strike. This is a very powerful technique. You can strike solar plexus, short ribs, side of the head, every place down there. There's basically, I guess the easiest way to explain to do this is you just pull the elbow and strike in, strike in, strike in, strike in, strike in. There's lots of ways to do this. The most important thing I can tell you is an elbow strike is not like a regular karate punch. It's more of a speed strike, so you're striking and hitting areas. The point of the elbow will cause the damage on that. So your side elbow strike is right here. Don't do this and drive it back in. That is a bad habit to get into. Train like as if you're blocking and striking. Blocking and striking. Very simple. Cross elbow strike. Very powerful, very quick. You could be fighting with somebody, they could throw a punch, and you could be blocking here and strike across the face there. You could even go 1 or 2 back across with the elbow. You're striking with this area. Don't hit with the tip. Hit with this area on the arm. So you just drive the hip in. Drive the hip in. Very simple technique. Drive the hip in. Drive the hip in. One of the things I'm sure you noticed is most of my strikes have been done with the reverse with the elbows because it's more powerful. However, this one to the front is fast, quick, and effective. Reverse elbow strike. We teach beginners, reach out, grab a handful of air, drive it back in. That's great for training in the dojo. It really is. But when reality comes on this, if you're doing this strike, you've probably got somebody grabbing a hold of you from behind. So you can strike here, here, or here. There's several ways to do this. But as I'm facing the front, and this person grabs me, and I drive my elbow. They grab this shoulder, drive my elbow. It's wherever you want to strike with that reverse. Don't do this, because that shows them it's coming. You're here, they grab it, drive it in. They grab a hold of the other shoulder, drive it in. If they're holding on to you in a bear hug, this is not going to be very effective. Just so you know, because you have to create distance to be able to strike with that reverse elbow. The uppercut elbow. Uppercut elbow is difficult because usually you have to actually grab the person's head to drive the elbow in. Drive the elbow in. Drive the elbow in. So I might be fighting with somebody, get in this situation, they throw a punch and I grab and then I pull their head down and striking up and into it, driving the elbow in. Uppercut elbow. And you got to torque your hip to get power with that one. Pretty simple, not so bad. Drop elbow. Drop elbow is a great technique. The best way to do that typically is you fight with somebody, you hit them with the knee and you pull them down and they're exposed so that you can drive it in the base of the neck, middle of the shoulder blade area, base of the skull up here. That's probably the most effective. If somebody were to say pick you up, drop it into their clavicle. Drop it into their clavicle if you were being put in bear hug with your arms free. Elbows are very effective if somebody bear hugs you from the front. You start driving elbows in as far as that goes. Forearm strike. The forearm strike is probably my favorite technique. It's my go-to technique if I know the person needs to be hit hard. You're going to be striking with this area right here as well. Not this. This is soft, medium, fleshy. Turn it to the side, solid bone. It's like getting hit with a baseball bat. It starts out like a ridge hand that we covered earlier, but you drive and hit. So the technique goes out, strikes, and comes back. Striking back. Striking back. Very powerful technique. Okay? And as always, with all hand techniques, you want to make sure that you practice both your right and left side. Don't just stick with one. These are the basic Kihon Waza hand techniques. We have literally hundreds more of techniques such as the beats, the grabs, and things of that nature. However, these are the Kihon Waza techniques that students need to practice on. Thank you very much, and I hope you guys are enjoying your quarantine. I know I'm not, because I would rather be seeing you and teaching you, but this is a good way to get some material out there that you probably don't get to see in regular classes. Have a great day.